I want to give you kind of an update on a series of events that happened last night, a series of serious criminal events, but also some heroic actions from the law enforcement officers, both at the Sheriff's Office, Highway Patrol, and the fishing game. So I'll start by saying that at about 6:39 p.m., we got an indication that there was a stolen car that was heading towards Harris Boulevard. As you know, those cameras are connected to our real-time crime center. So when we got that indication, we know the connection between stolen cars and drive-by shootings. So our deputies were en route to that location, Harris Boulevard, right off of Massachusetts. While we're en route, we also get an indication, though, that car not only was stolen, but it was heading towards the area. If you see right there on the screen, this is the shot spotter, or not shot spotter, but this is the camera that we had indication that stolen car was heading down Harris Boulevard. We're heading that way. A little bit later on, you'll see the same car went to the dead end, came back, and then it started firing. 40 rounds, 223 rounds, handgun rounds, indiscriminately. You can see if you really look at it. This is the car leaving. Actually, you can still see the arm out to the right-hand side there, still aiming, still shooting out in that area. So there are, as we understand it, 3 people in this car, all wearing masks, all conducting this drive-by shooting on Harris Boulevard. One woman, a 70-year-old female, was struck in the neck, and she is fighting for her life right now. The shooting, as we understand it, is likely linked to a homicide that took place in the city limits, and this is a retaliation for that. So we got indication the stolen car was going down Harris Boulevard. We start heading that way. We get a shot spotter indication that 40 rounds have been shot. Then we get the indication that this car is leaving the area. Good old-fashioned police work. Our deputies that were en route, they see this car and they initiate a pursuit. The pursuit was rather lengthy. It started in Massachusetts and Market, goes down Palafox northbound, then turns back around Palafox southbound. It goes to Fairfield, then it goes to the Interstate 110 to Interstate 10, gets off at Scenic Highway, and then it starts to head from Scenic Highway towards Highway 90 where these two roads merge. And we understand now we have an individual because we know we have a victim on Harris Boulevard. We know we had shooters. We know we had 40 rounds that were fired. We are chasing killers at this point, and we are not going to stop. We know the connection. I've already allowed and pushed for our deputies to chase more stolen cars because, again, we know the connection. And so I've also authorized them to do more pit maneuvers to stop them as soon as they possibly can. So what we got here is one of the first videos I'm going to show you. This is a in-car video of one of our deputies is behind it. The white car right in front of it is the car that's been fleeing from us throughout the city of Pensacola, city and county, and also the same vehicle that we saw, I showed you a still picture of, going into Harris Boulevard and then coming out of Harris Boulevard and then stopping to make those shots. So these are killers we're looking for. These are killers we have to stop. Go ahead and play that video. That's the first effort at a pit. He survives that one, crosses over. I think he's injured one of his tires at that point. Our deputies do not give up. We try to stop him again. Again, our deputies know that there are 3 would-be killers in this car. You can see all 3 get out. 2 jump over the bridge right here. One more decides that he's going to go to the right-hand side of the bridge and jump into the water area to the right-hand side. We're chasing him. One of our canines, Canine Streeter, also chased the suspect. This is Canine Streeter, who does what he's supposed to do. He does what he's trained to do. He's trained to chase and apprehend bad guys, no matter where they go, no matter what they do. So this is Streeter. Go and play this video. Now his handler, Deputy Stimmel, is trying to get him in the right spot so that he can see the suspects as they were running. And then he sees that the suspect had jumped over this bridge, and our Canine Streeter, this brave boy, jumps over that bridge as well and into that water, probably 30, 40 feet easy. and then we end up having to fish K9 Streeter out. This is a video of our deputies that are on the ground underneath those two bridges, one going east and one going west. I think Michael told me it's north and south, but there's two bridges there, and we're trying to capture the three people that jumped over, and we're also trying to recover our K9, who is probably injured at this point because of the fall and doing his duty. So if you can play this video real quick. You can also see the swampy area and the dedication of the men and women of the Sheriff's Office. At this point, we're trying to get drones in the air. We're trying to get boats in the water so that we can better serve the public by getting these three murderers off the street. All right, so the vehicle that was pitted, as you can see, we have taken some pictures of the vehicle. As you can see in this far left picture, there's a handgun, and in the middle picture, you can see the vehicle after it had been pitted, after it had been stopped. In the back seat, you can see an assault-style rifle, a cell phone. There was also one more handgun that was recovered on outside of this particular car right here. So put two and two together. We had 223 rounds, handgun rounds fired at the drive-by shooting that happens minutes before this, and now we seized two handguns and one assault-style rifle. So we certainly think that we can connect these weapons to that drive-by shooting. And just a quick update on the condition of the 7-year-old victim. She's fighting for her life as we speak. She is fighting for her life. So what's the next picture we got? All right, this is who we arrested. Because what happened, we had three people exit the vehicle. Two exited, as you can see on the left-hand side of the video. They both jumped over the bridge. One jumped over to the right. The one that jumped over to the right that was followed by K9 Streeter, we have yet to find him. K9 Streeter, as I told you a second ago, has been treated and released. I'll show you a picture of him as well. The two on the left-hand side, one of them jumped and did not make the water. And he subsequently died from the injuries on the fall, leaving that vehicle. The third person we did arrest, that was Jacarius Etheridge. He's 19 years old. So right now, Mr. Etheridge is charged with attempted murder on the Harris Boulevard shooting, and that could easily be upgraded if that 70-year-old victim succumbs to her injuries, and we certainly hope that she does not. He also will be charged with felony murder because he was committing a felony when an individual was killed. In this case, the individual that was killed was his partner that jumped over the bridge, and also the 70-year-old who suffered very serious injuries. We do have. I can only tell you the age of the victim that I said the victim, the suspect that jumped over the bridge that succumbed to his injuries. He's a 20-year-old male. We have not yet made next of kin notifications, or we have not verified that, so I won't be able to give you his name except to say that of the three, one remains at large, and we're going back out there today. Another was arrested, and that's the individual I show you on the screen. And the third one is a 22-year-old male that succumbed to his injuries. So we're going to do a search warrant on the car. We're going to search and see what else we find in the car. But remember, we have 3 guns that were seized in the car. We had a car that was fleeing from a drive-by shooting on Harris Boulevard. And our deputies, our canines, our law enforcement partners, they did one heck of a job last night, because they knew that they were in a stolen car. They knew that they had weapons. In fact, they still had their masks on whenever we were chasing them. And they didn't stop. They didn't take their time. They did everything they could to protect this community. And as I said before, they did one heck of a job. We got one more picture here. And this is K9 Streeter was injured during his jump, his leap. During doing his duty. He was kept overnight at the emergency vet on Davis, and then he went to Westside Animal Hospital for a follow-up. And these are some of the people that took good care of our brave boy right there. And he does have some injuries, so I'm putting him on desk duty until about Friday, but he'll be able to return back to duty. And he's a bit of a hero because he did what all the men and women at the sheriff's office do. They don't stop until they catch the bad guy. And if you've ever been over to that bridge, you know that's a pretty good drop. I was up there last night, and it was just I'm not sure how anyone could survive that, but our K-9 did. And at least one suspect did. And as I mentioned before, we're still looking for the third one. We do not yet have him identified. Again, last night we launched our boat. We launched 2 of our drone units. We also commandeered a couple of boats last night. And so the people at the fish camp over there, I want to say how much we appreciate them doing the right thing and helping us catching these murderers. And with that, I will answer any questions that you may or may not have.
What does this say about the combination of the technology that's now available to you guys and also just the relentless police work that took place last night?
I think it says a lot about both of those things, and thank you. I will tell you that before we knew anything was taking place, the cameras that we have out there alerted our real-time crime center that there's a stolen car there. As I mentioned before, we know the correlation between stolen cars and drive-by shootings. So our deputies were already en route, so technology paid off. When we saw the video of the actual shooting, there's a video there that we stopped the vehicle right about the same time that they fired those 40 shots. And then as you can see in that last picture, they still have the gun out the passenger side of the rear passenger side of the vehicle itself. So we knew that. We were already en route, and we got the shot spotter indication, so we knew that we had a very serious incident. We knew that we had to get deputies in that area. And some of those deputies, again, while we mixed technology with real-time, real work, old-fashioned police work, because there's deputies out there. I think it's Deputy Housen was a deputy that actually first saw that vehicle, started to pursue that vehicle, and they tried to get close enough where they could stop it. As I mentioned earlier, it was kind of a long trek up and down Palafox to 9 Mile Road, to the interstate to 9 Mile Road, and then to Scenic Highway and over there by off the bridge. So I think that's a technology part, but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that it still takes it still takes manpower. It still takes coordination. It still takes guts to do what was done last night, and I think that is very important. We had 2 shifts that worked hand in hand. Lieutenant Schaff, Lieutenant Hoyland's shifts were out there, and there was some kind of an article or someone said that chaos in Pensacola. What you saw was a coordinated effort amongst 3 different law enforcement agencies. What you saw is a sheriff's office that's committed to bringing these killers to justice, and they're going to do what they need to do, even if they know that car contains not 1, not 2, not 3 guns, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 3 suspects. And obviously our K-9 is not concerned about his own safety. He goes above and beyond. So we owe him an extra treat today. But the technology is paying off. We're going to continue to work towards getting videos. I've been working with Commissioner May on getting more cameras in the Ayers Boulevard, Diego Circle, Massachusetts Avenue, so that we can continue to not only see these things before they happen, but certainly respond in a quick manner when they do happen.
Sure. Do you know, can you say which homicide this may have been linked to that was in the city?
I understand it was the one that happened last week. I haven't talked to the city police, but they had one drive-by, as I understand it. And then this was, allegedly, this was a retaliation for that homicide that they had last week. We talk a lot about these things are retaliatory. We talk about, what we can do. We work very closely with other agencies. I think what I hope you take away here is that just because you run doesn't mean we're going to stop. Just because you think that you can do a drive-by shooting and get away with it, that's not the case. And we're employing all of our technology. We're employing all of the manpower that we possibly can. Chief Flighter's got the patrol and investigations, and they do a really good job. And Chief Hobbs, they all work together so that we can have this mesh between administration and between patrol and with enforcement and with technology and just old-fashioned police work, good police work. Anyone else have anything to say or question? All right. The last thing I'll say then is that while many of us were in bed getting ready to go to sleep, bad things happen. Bad things happen, but good things happen with regards to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Our thoughts and prayers are with a 70-year-old victim who, again, as I mentioned, is fighting for her life. We are still searching for that one more individual, so if anyone has information on the identity and certainly the whereabouts of that third individual. I don't know, quite frankly, what his condition is. That's a pretty good drop-off. I don't know if, how good a swimmer he is. All I know is that he was a fleeing suspect, and right now we don't have him in custody. We do have one in custody. We're going to continue the investigation. We'll learn what we can. We're going to match the guns that we seized with the shell casings that we found at Eris Boulevard, and that'll help and aid in the investigation that we have going on so far. So, anything else? Thank you all for your patience. Thank you for being here, and I'm just so super proud of the men and women of the Sheriff's Office. Thank you.